Hello and welcome to the Extended Disc webinar. My name is Christina. I'm the training director here at Extended Disc, and today I have invited my colleague, Zach Etheridge, client loyalty and marketing manager, to talk about managing your Extended Disc assessments from an admin site overview. Welcome, Zach.
Thank you, Christina, so much for having me.
All right, so just a couple details. Number one, we want you guys to all stay safe and healthy out there. Social distancing, we're practicing it even as we're doing this webinar. And as always, I will be recording this so you can review it later on or share it with your colleagues. We don't have time for questions, unfortunately, at least not live. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A section, and Zach or I will follow up with you after the session. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I just want to say the admin site is basically a site designed to help you as our client manage your extended disc assessments. And as a client of extended disc, you do have access to your own administrative dashboard at no additional cost. So what I've asked Zach to do is just to kind of give us some highlights of it. So Zach, what are some of the most common reasons our clients access their admin site?
Well, the main reason is because you can access it 24 hours a day. Our office hours are only from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. So you really work with your clients.
And that's Central Time.
Yes, Central Time. And you really work with your clients at awkward hours throughout the day when it's convenient for them. And it may not fall in our office hours to where you need to access your platform when it's convenient for you.
So I see here, it looks like most of our clients focus in on projects and database. Can you talk a little bit more about each one?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are your two fundamental building blocks to the admin site. One, projects, what they are, they're given to participants to complete the extended disc questionnaire containing the access code. It helps to identify the disc profile and ultimately what report you wish to receive. Now, the database location is the holding place for the disc profiles uh, that are generated, the reports, and you can actually regenerate and download reports directly from here.
Yeah, and for someone kind of technically challenged like I am, and Zach totally is not. When you think of projects, projects just contains all the information, including the access code that we give out. And for most of our clients out there, access code is the common term that we use, but it's
Yes.
the information that is also included, like where do you want the report sent to, what report do you want generated, added with the access code is what makes up the project.
Yeah, it's the constraints, time parameters, everything that you put into place before providing it to your client. So that way, ultimately, it'll make your work and everything reduce a headache down the road. Take the 5 to 10 minutes up front to do it, and it'll reduce the clutter down the road.
And I know, Zach, some of our clients, like some of them were like, just give me the access code. I don't need anything else. I don't need access to my database. I don't need access to my admin site. But then we do have some clients that are like, what if I want to create my own projects, my own access codes? What situations would they do that?
And both situations are great. Nothing is wrong with either. So the reason why you may have multiple projects set up is you are working with one specific organization. Well, you may be working with two different departments, whether it may be the sales and management team or the management team and customer service. You really want to differentiate your projects that you are set up with them to make it the separation in your database a little bit easy, a little bit clear for you to use down the road. Single access code is great to where if you're working with it as a trainer one-on-one, you can provide it to them to where it's specifically unique to your organization. And you don't really need to log in again. If you have one access code, provide it to your prospect or your participant. They complete it. You don't need to log in because the report's emailed to you directly.
So just to kind of summarize and help me fill it in here, Zach. So the project contains the access code, and the access code is essentially the easiest way I always say it is it helps us identify that the DISC profile results belong to you or your organization, goes directly into your own account. What types of report you specifically want generated, whether it's a leadership report or individual report, and then also who do you want it sent to? Do you want automatically all copies to go through you? Do you want to copy additional colleagues? Do you want to send a copy directly to the individual that took it? So that is the project. Anything else that you would add to it?
No, that's exactly it. You covered it all.
Awesome. I do this training all the time, right? And then databases. For databases, just kind of summarize what Zach said is the results of your participants taking the extended DISC questionnaire go directly into the database. And what I heard you say was sometimes creating these unique access codes helps us go back into the database later on, especially for people who have hundreds and thousands of them. It makes it easier for them to manage their database.
Yes, absolutely.
So with databases, what's really interesting is I want Zach to talk about is how you can go back in and not only look up individuals, have they taken the assessments, did they get valid results, but you can actually reorder reports, right?
Yes, that's 100% correct. So when you do log into the database, everything is categorized by the information that the individual inputs, such as their name, email, organization, and also you can see the access code that was provided to them when they completed the questionnaire. Touching on what Christina said, you are able to reprint reports. For example, an individual completed the questionnaire, received the individual report. Well, maybe they're moving into a sales role. Great for that individual and great for you. You can simply log in, reapply their results to the sales report, and it will automatically be generated and downloaded or emailed directly to you. Now, this is a no additional charge feature and is great for continued follow-up, working with your client or your participant. Something that does really stand out for me is our reinforcement reports. Using reinforcement reports help to continue the use of DISC down the road after the training. One-time use, it's really used for that, for continued follow-up.
Yeah, I think with the reinforcement report, that's probably one of the most effective uses. You don't want to generate too many of the reports because they're all very similar to each other. You know, I always tell people they're kind of based on the template, which is the individual assessment. So with sales or leadership, you usually pick one of those. However, as Zach mentioned, what's great about it is, you know, one of the questions we as trainers get asked all the time is, okay, I've done my training. Now, what do I do with my clients? How do I keep them using DISC? And as Zach mentioned, these reinforcement reports are very focused reports. They're not like an entire overview of your behavioral style. They focus in on like your negotiation style, your decision-making style. And what's great about it is you don't have to have another one-on-one or another session with your client. You go into your database, as Zach mentioned, you find the individual that you want to send the reinforcement report to, you click on it, and essentially you hit send. I mean, it's really that easy. And what's great about those reinforcement reports is they are designed to be standalone, meaning you don't necessarily have to do follow-up, but it is a way to follow up with your clients. So thank you, Zach, for just kind of showing us some of the individual reports. What about some of the multi-person reports?
So multi-person reports that we have available are both work pair and team reports. Work pair being those of two participants. For example, standard work pair in the workplace. We have conflict resolution, and we even have a couples report, just to name a few. In regards to team reports, we have a wide variety to offer for 3 or more participants. Those being team development, standard team, manager's playbook, whatever's applicable to you in your situation.
And what's great about it?
All no extra charge.
And you don't have to ask the person to take another DISC questionnaire.
Yes, exactly.
So, you know, we talked a little bit about projects, we talked a little about databases. Those are kind of the two most common uses of the FINCS the Finks admin account. But I wanted Zach also to kind of just touch upon some of the other features that you guys out there may not be as aware of.
Yeah, so one of the first things that really stands out to me is the Finks Playground. It's real, what I call it is the a la carte version. It's a great location to view DISC data individually, group, behavioral competences, as well as team maps right in front of you rather than having to download the report directly.
Yeah, I mean, what's amazing is our clients have learned so many different ways to utilize the effect, utilize the Finks Playground. There was one organization that they essentially took all the DISC profile results, so they're not generating or going through hundreds of reports, but they were trying to figure out why they had such high turnover at their team. So they went into the Finks Playground and they essentially grouped all of the people that had left their organization. And then once they did that, they looked at their DISC styles. And some of the questions they asked themselves was, well, are there certain styles that tend to leave our organization? And if so, is it because they are not a good fit for our organization? Or is it because we're not doing enough to retain these particular individuals with this style? So it was very mind opening for people to just kind of see, well, what I can do with the data just above, delivering DISC results. Um, so Finks Playground, simple to use, gives you a lot of information beyond the extended DISC reports. What about job templates?
So what job templates are their pre-selected group of behavioral competences, and it's really applicable to any situation because it gives you a lot of flexibility. Uh, when you would use this is when you're looking a little bit for more customization, uniqueness to a specific role, such as what I am with Extended DISC. I am the client loyalty and marketing manager here at Extended DISC.
Kind of different.
Yes, you wear two hats, and a lot of behavioral competences aren't specific to a certain role. You may have a lot of crossover, you may have a lot of nitpicking, whatever it may be, you may need to take a little bit from here, from there, and this is where you can do that by creating the job template.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of you guys out there, how many of you have been asked by your own clients, well, let's use this DISC assessment. I want to just know, just tell me what the best style is for a salesperson. And, we know that salespeople aren't all the same. Some are technical salespeople, some are, they're, farming, they're looking for prospects. So we all have different roles. So what we always want to remind people is that DISC itself cannot give you the full-blown picture of a person. It focuses on their behaviors, how they prefer to do things, but it doesn't tell you like this person has great experience or this person has really bad attitude. It doesn't tell you things like that. So what we do, we offer people is, as Zach mentioned, these job templates. And what essentially these job templates are groupings of behaviors that you as a manager or the hiring person can prioritize the ones that are critical for this particular role. And once that person or candidate takes the assessment, it will actually match up their natural style to the behaviors that you've grouped together. So job templates. Now exporting data, I was worried I wasn't going to be able to say the word, but tell us about exporting data.
So exporting data, and it allows you to export name, email, when they completed it, profile 1, profile 2, into an Excel document. Oftentimes clients prefer to export it into a file so that way they can store it that way, requiring them not to log in on a daily basis to keep track of who's completed the questionnaire. And that's really where it would come into situation for you to utilize that.
Yeah, and sometimes it actually, that data also includes their DISC profile. So it's another way. Some people like to use the information in an Excel spreadsheet. So it's just another way to deliver DISC information to you. Customization, I think that's one of the kind of selling points of our assessments. They're not just necessarily off the shelf. Now, having said that, most people use our assessments the way they were developed. Obviously, we
Correct.
developed them for a reason. But tell me a little bit about customization.
Yeah, so at Extended Disc, we do pride ourselves on being able to customize, or well, as a client, having the ability on your own to customize the reports. Whether it may be from simple logo update to the layout to even adding those job templates or uh, just rearranging how the report may look. You have the ability, we do have the instructions and tutorial videos to help walk through the process. Now, if it's extreme customization to where we're recreating the wheel, we'll be more than helpful to assist with that process, but there may be an additional add-on cost should that be.
All right, well, excellent. So, Zach, thanks for giving us an overview of the admin site. What about for our clients out there? If they want to learn more, they want to get access to certain features of their admin site, what's their next step?
Yeah, so you can go to our YouTube channel to view those admin site tutorial videos, or you could reach out to us directly at customerservice@extendeddisc.org, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have.
Right, and you can find those videos if you go to YouTube, just search for Extended Disc.
Yes.
So thank you, Zach, for joining us today. Our next webinar is Identifying Main Disc Styles of Others. For those of you that are looking for recertification units for HRCI or SHRM, it is one unit hour if you attend the session, and that is Wednesday, March 25th, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Again, thanks everyone, and stay safe out there.